Hello, my name is Adrienne, and if you have never watched one of my videos before, I empower moms to provide a healthy and stable environment for their children by sharing ways to live toxin-free and sharing my homeschool journey. So I hope this video gives you value. I'm going to be talking today about stress. I'm doing a bunch of videos on back to school season, and this one is on stress because anytime we have a change in our schedule or our lives, stress is almost inevitable, right? So I found some information, and then I'm going to share some tips towards the end of the video. Studies have shown that chronic stress actually changes our brain. Our brain's kind of like a muscle, so what you think about the most actually grows your brain. And like when you go out to the gym and you work out, the muscles that you're working out will get larger and the other ones usually don't change very much. So the brain, think of the brain like your muscle, and what you're thinking about is important because it actually grows that part of your brain. So what you think about most has the strongest pathways. If you think about maybe going outside in the grass, and maybe you have a specific path that you walk every day, or maybe just not walking on the sidewalk, you're cutting across the yard to go check your mail in the mailbox every day. Eventually, over time, that is going to be a worn path and you're going to notice it. It's going to look different than the rest of your lawn. So it's the same in your brain. The more you think about something, the stronger that signal becomes and the easier it is to think that thought again. So our thoughts are super important. And it can actually change the size of our brain. I did not know this until I started looking up stress. There's a specific part of our brain that processes stressful things and threats in our environment to keep us safe. And this was designed by God so that we have a way of responding to threats. It was not intended that this part of our brain be on alert all the time, and that's where the problem comes in. So the part of our brain that I'm going to talk about is called the amygdala, and this is the part that processes threats in the environment. So you've heard of fight or flights, that fight or flight business, like you're going to stay and fight or you're going to run away. That is all part of this part of the brain and the job of keeping your body alive. That's its number one goal, keeping you alive. So unfortunately, when we're in states of chronic stress, this area of our brain can actually grow. And they found in studies that people who had chronic stress had larger amygdalas than people who didn't. So that's not a problem until you think about the limited space that we have in here. And if our one part of our brain is larger, then that means the other part is going to be smaller. And the part that they found in the study that was smaller was the part for rational thought, thinking, and planning. So that's super unfortunate that that part of your brain would get smaller because you're super stressed. So it is important to be mindful of the amount of stress that you have in your life. It's impossible to eliminate stress, but you should work really hard to try and limit it and do other things to give your body some stress relief. So I want to encourage you to take those thoughts captive. I like to kick the negative thoughts out of my brain and then put in some positive ones, because I feel like once the negative ones are gone, there's kind of a void there that can easily be filled by more negative thoughts. So I want to replace it with something super positive. So whatever that is for you, I like to memorize scripture so I can drop that in. I like to speak positive affirmations. I like to pray and ask that God give me the words that I need to think about myself and the thoughts that I need to have. However that looks for you, everyone is different. But just know that once you kick those negative thoughts out, they're not gone forever. They can come back in. So it's a definite, like, mindful, intentional practice that you have to do throughout your day. So get rid of those thoughts, take those thoughts captive, and kick out the negative ones so that you can have a better life. Another thing I found that was helpful is called progressive muscle relaxation. So this is tensing groups of muscles together and then holding that and then relaxing. And you go from your feet all the way up to your head. My husband's doing some home projects right now, if you hear some stapling in the background. So that is actually very relaxing, and it can actually help you find different areas of your body that are tense. So start in your toes and squeeze your toes as hard as you can and hold it, and then relax. And then you're going to tighten if you keep going up your body, your legs, and then you go up to your tummy and do the same thing, and your arms and your shoulders, you can even do like your neck and then your face, and then it just gives your body kind of like a quick reset and a super easy way to relax. Sometimes if I'm laying in bed at night and I can't fall asleep, I will do this, and it is very relaxing and just helps you kind of reset into that relaxed state. Another thing I want to encourage you to do is to play. I feel like we can learn so much from kids. They're always down for a game or playtime. They're always looking for fun. I feel like adults, we just kick that part of ourselves away once we grow up. It's kind of sad. So find something that you enjoy doing. Play a game with your kids. Go for a run. Go for a walk. Read a book. Those are all great things to give your body rest and not be stressed out. Don't have an agenda or something that you need to accomplish, like a goal. It's just a time for fun and for play. There's a few products that I recommend for stress, and the first one is called Rescue Remedy, and this is Bach flowers, if you know anything about those. It's taking the flowers, and then you make basically a tincture with alcohol, and you take it as a supplement. Rescue Remedy was formulated specifically for stress. I like the liquid. You just put it under your tongue and hold it for a little bit and then swallow it. They do have mints and I think gum, and I feel like every time I go to a natural food store I see something else Rescue Remedy has, but there's lots of different options. They do make things for animals too, for dogs. So if you have a dog that's a bit squeamish about like fireworks or gunshots or something like that, you might want to check out Rescue Remedy for them. But I like to have it just kind of takes the edge off a little bit. If my girls are extra emotional or we're just having a rough time, it's just a quick little break. Go take some Rescue Remedy and try and do like a reset. Another thing I recommend for stress, of course, is essential oils. We use those for so many areas of our life, and stress and managing emotions is a big part of that. We're a house of 4 women, so lots of emotions. There is a stress blend I love, and lavender is a great essential oil to try for stress and lots of other things, but this video is on stress. There is a grounding blend for essential oils, and then the practice of grounding is really beneficial. There are ions all around us, positive and negative, and regardless of the positive sounding good, it's actually bad for us. Devices like this are emitting positive ions, and we are surrounded by so many devices now. There's lots of positive ions. Negative ions are going to come from the earth, things like the beach, the mountains, waterfalls, anywhere where you have a large amount of water moving around is negative ions. So if you look up the practice of grounding, if you're part of my Toxin-Free Living Facebook group, I have information on there about grounding. It's just the practice of going outside barefoot and standing on the earth. You can't stand on like the pavement in the street. It's got to be like the dirt, the earth that you're standing on barefoot, no shoes. And then the earth can give you some negative ions. It's a practice called grounding, and it's great for stress. It's great for sleep, lots of other things. And then I also like to take a bath when I feel like I'm really stressed out. It just helps me to relax, and I put some Epsom salts in there for magnesium. Lots of people are magnesium deficient, so it can't hurt, right? And then I will throw in those essential oils right in the salt, the Epsom salts, before I put them in the bath. So I'm getting the benefits of the relaxing bath and then all of the goodness from the oils and the salt as well. So I hope that gave you some value and some ideas and some food for thought when you get those negative things creeping in. Your mind is extremely powerful. I just can't even imagine how your life could be different if you are constantly having negative thoughts and then you were to make the switch to take those thoughts captive and have the positive thoughts. And I just want to encourage you to make whatever change you can. Maybe you are in a very dark place, or maybe you have lots of issues going on in your life. If you change the way that you're thinking about things and your perspective, it can really benefit and really help you to see like the big picture and give you some small little triumphs to get excited about. So reach out if you have any questions. Make sure you subscribe if you don't already subscribe, and I will continue sharing in the next video.